Hello students, in the previous video, that is living part 1, we have seen different types of characteristic features and what are defining properties of living organisms like growth, reproduction, metabolism, response to stimuli, consciousness, etc. We have finished. Now we will continue with the nomenclature and taxonomic categories. Now, nomenclature means naming of organisms. So when a new organism was identified, it was seen in nature. Immediately we will try to identify either it is belonging to a plant or an animal or some microbe, etc. So in such a process, we have to follow some of the norms. Like first, identification of the organism is very important. Naming of the organism is very important. Later, classification of the organism is very important, because if the organism is not given any name, then how to call that? If the organism is not categorized into any particular classification group, then how to consider either it is a plant or an animal, or how to explain this one when we are reading its further studies. So for nomenclature, first, identification. Nomenclature means naming of the organism, and classification are necessary. So initially, there are some types of organizations which are giving some of the rules to name the new organisms that are discovered. The organizations like ICBN, ICZN, ICNP, ICNCP. Different types of organizations are there. ICSP, because some of these abbreviated short forms are given in previous MCQs. So let's learn what are abbreviated forms of these alphabets. This is abbreviated as International Council of Botanical Nomenclature. Second one, International Council of Zoological Nomenclature. What is ICNP? International Code of Nomenclature of Prokaryotes. International Code of Nomenclature of Prokaryotes. What is ICNCP? This is International Code of Nomenclature of Cultivation of Plants. International Code of Nomenclature of Cultivated Plants. What is ICSP? This is International Committee on Systematics of Prokaryotes. International Committee on Systematics of Prokaryotes. So these are abbreviated forms of all these letters. So better to revise once or twice. That is very important. Now, these organizations have given some rules, some set of rules for naming of the organisms. Basing on those rules only, names has to be given to the new found or newly discovered organisms. So these organizations has set some rules to name a newly discovered organism. Basing on the rules only, the names has to be given. What are the rules? If you see one by one, first rule is the name should be of 2 words. First word should be genus. Second one should be species. We use a term for this as generic name. For this one, we also use the term like species name or specific epithet. Giving 2 words name to an organism is called as binomial system of nomenclature. Giving such 2 words name is called as binomial system of nomenclature. In this chapter, scientist names are also important. But this binomial system of nomenclature, it was introduced by Carolus Linnaeus, or it was given by Carolus Linnaeus. Next, the second rule. If the name is typed, then it should be in italics, and if the name is handwritten, then it should be underlined. Font should be in italics. If the name is handwritten, then name should be underlined. The name should be of Latin language. The name should be taken from Latin language. Latin language is also called as dead language because it is of no use now. No one are using this Latin language. So it is called as dead language. Next, here we have used the terms like generic name and specific epithet or species name. Genus or generic name should start with capital alphabet. Species name or specific epithet should start with small alphabet or lowercase alphabet. Name should have more than 3 alphabets and less than 20 alphabets. the last rule was given on priority of the person who gave that name as the rule given by all the organizations that I have written previously. Like if a person is trying to give a name for the already existing organism newly, or already he is the first person to name that organism. That organism may be newly discovered or already existed. Then there was a priority of adding his name at the end of the scientific name. So, adding of scientist name at the end of scientific name was permitted. For this we can take Carolus Linnaeus has given Homo sapiens term for human beings. So the example for this one can be Homo sapiens lin. Homo sapiens lin. The next important topic is trinomial nomenclature. It is naming of the organism using 3 words. We know that first word is of genus, second word is of species, then what is about the third word? Third word is considered as the subspecies word. Here we can take some of the examples like gorilla, gorilla and gorilla. Another example we will take Homo sapiens sapiens. This trinomial nomenclature is given by Lamarck. Now, if the genus name and species name are of same, then again the terms are different. Tautonym or tautonymy. So tautonyms are the same type of words given to genus and species. Here example we can take Naja, Naja, that is Indian cobra. This is of genus, this is of species. So this process of giving same types of words for the organisms is called as tautonym. These tautonyms types of words are applicable only for animals, not to plants. This type of naming is applied only to animals, not to plants. We have seen 3 different words, that is identification. First of all, finding the organism. Later, nomenclature. I gave you some points regarding nomenclature. Then what is meant by classification? Classification means arranging of the organisms in different categories based on observable characters. Let's see the definition of classification. Classification can be defined as arranging the organisms in different groups or categories based on observable characters. For this, we have chosen important process that is called as taxonomy. So taxonomy is a branch of science that deals with identification, nomenclature and classification of organisms. So we have chosen the taxonomy to categorize the organisms into different groups. Taxonomy term is given by Candolle. Why do we need to classify the organisms? It was approximately given a number like there are nearly 1.7 to 1.8 millions of organisms that are existed on Earth. We can categorize few organisms which are showing some of the similar characters into one group like that. So we have chosen taxonomy to explain the categorization of the organisms. It can be defined as taxonomy is a branch of science that deals with identification, nomenclature, and classification of organisms into different categories. There is another word which is related to taxonomy called as systematics. Systematics also deals with the categorization of organisms but based on phylogenetic relations. So here we can say is a branch of biology that includes taxonomy with relation to phylogeny, with, or we can write phylogenetic relations. Simply, we can say systematics is nothing but taxonomy plus phylogenetic relations or phylogeny. This is simple word to remember, systematics. Both are of same, but here we include the phylogenetic relations. This systematics, the term is given by taxonomy, the term is given by Candolle. Systematics term is given by Carolus Linnaeus. He used this systematics term in his book Systema Naturae. He used the term systematics in his book. The book name is Systema Naturae. When we are talking about taxonomy, generally we are telling classification as categorizing into different groups. So the word group is also termed as category. Scientifically, the same meaning will be given to taxa. Taxa or group or category or taxon. The meaning is same. Each and every category or each and every group is also termed as taxa or taxon. For the example of either group or category or taxa or taxon, it can be either species or it can be genus or it can be family or it can be order, etc. Each and every separate category is given a term like taxa. It is a taxa. It is a taxa. It is a taxa. When all the taxons or when all the categories are placed in an order, if the order is according to increasing category, then a term is given there as hierarchy. Hierarchy indicates the arrangement of taxons in an increasing order. So let's write what is that increasing order. The lowest level is considered as species. Next upper is genus. Next is family. Next is order. Next is class. Up to here, the taxons are same for both plants and animals. But for plants, the next upper level is division. This is for plants. For animals, it is phylum. Next category is kingdom. The species, there is an increasing order. So we can tell the taxons are arranged in an hierarchy. Coming to first one, kingdom. Kingdom is considered to be having large diversity group or large diverse group. Has large diverse group of organisms. It means that there is more biodiversity in the taxon, that is kingdom. It means having more biodiversity. In kingdom, are the organisms are closely related or not? Organisms are not closely related because more diversity means obviously relation or similarities will be less. It means less similarities. This is about kingdom. In kingdom, if we want to take some examples, it can be plantae or plant kingdom or animal kingdom. Here, plants are again categorized into different groups, that is cryptogams, phanerogams. Cryptogams are non-flowering or seedless. Phanerogams, flowering plants, means seed containing plants. First we will start with species. Under species, the term is given by John Ray. Term given by John Ray. So biological concept regarding species is given by Ernest Mayr. Biological concept of species is given by Ernest Mayr. Species can be defined as the closely related organisms which can interbreed and produce fertile offsprings. Closely related organisms that can interbreed among themselves and produce fertile offsprings. Here we can take examples like liger and tigon. Liger is a cross between male lion cross with female tigress. Tigon, it is a cross between male tiger with female lioness. Both are fertile. But closely related organisms that crossed horse and donkey, they produce sterile one. So those are considered as exceptions here, not included under species. But mule and hinny. Mule is a cross between male donkey with female horse. Hinny is a cross between male horse cross with female donkey. These are not considered under species because both are sterile. So this is about species. Species is also termed as specific epithet. If we write some of the other examples like Panthera tigris, next Mangifera indica, next Homo sapiens. Here sapiens, indica, tigris are considered under species. Panthera, Mangifera, Homo are considered under genus category. Next is genus or generic name. Similar species are kept under genus. Similar species are kept under genus. For suppose, in case of animals, we will take some examples. Panthera tigris, this is one species, this is genus. Another one, Panthera leo, that is leo, this is species, this is genus. Panthera pardus, this is species, this is genus. Here the species name are different. They are kept under one similar category, that is genus. This is in case of animals. Coming to plants, we have Solanum tuberosum for potato, Solanum melangina for brinjal, Solanum nigra. This one type of poisonic or some medicinal plant like. Here the species are different but kept under similar category, that is Solanum, the genus. Next one category is family. So similar genera or similar genus are kept under one family. Here we can take another example like Panthera. Already we have taken the genus. So Panthera is one type of genus. Another genus is Felix. Panthera is the term given to wild cats. Felix is given to the term domestic cats or domesticated cats. Means normal cats that roam in the homes. Both comes under same family, that is Felidae. This is family. In case of plants, we will see another example. Solanum is there. Solanum is a type of genus. Another word is there which belongs to family Solanaceae. Another milkweed types of organisms are there, or bindweed types of plants are there, which are studied under Convolvulaceae. So these are considered as the families. So Solanaceae, Convolvulaceae, those both are considered under families. So Convolvulaceae example, here Solanaceae we know, potato, brinjal, etc., datura. But here under this one, example is bindweed. So these are examples of animals here, and those are examples of plants under families. Next category is of order. Similar families are kept under one order. In case of animals, we will take some examples. We have seen the family Felidae. So, Felidae, which is for both common and wild cats. Another category is there, that is Canidae. This is the family type for dogs. It is for cats. Both comes under same order, that is carnivores. So carnivore is an order, name given to order. Coming to plants. We have seen the family names Solanaceae, Convolvulaceae, both belongs to order Polymoniales. Next category is class. Similar orders are kept in one class. Here we can take under animals as, there we have written carnivores. We will take another order, that is primates. Both belong to class Mammalia. Under plants, the terms given for class category are dicotyledone, and monocotyledone. Simply we call them as dicots and monocots. Next category is phylum in case of animals and division in case of plants. We will see some examples. We can see similar classes can be kept under one phylum. Similar classes are kept in one phylum or one division. Under animals, we will see one example. Under animals, it can be chordata and non-chordata. Non-chordates. Under chordata, we can see few examples like aves, reptiles, etc., which are considered as classes. Under non-chordata, we can take Coelenterata, Porifera, etc. Or protozoans, you can take any. Coming to plants. Under plants, we can take examples like angiosperms and gymnosperms. These angiosperms are again divided into dicots and monocots that we have seen in the class. The last one is kingdom, which is having highest priority in the taxonomic hierarchy. So, all phylums or divisions in case of plants are kept under one kingdom. We can say here the chordates are kept in Animalia and non-chordates and plus non-chordates kept under Animalia. And in case of divisions, that is plants, the cryptogams and phanerogams are kept under Plantae. So here we will write chordata and non-chordata. Kept under animal kingdom. Under divisions, cryptogams, phanerogams. Cryptogams, non-flowering plants. or seedless plants. Phanerogams, flowering plants or seed containing plants. Both are kept under plant kingdom. This is about the taxonomic categories, starting from species to kingdom arranged in a hierarchy.